BRB!
Bradford Anderson, are we here? Are you okay?
Yeah. Did I just blow your eardrum out? Is that what happened?
A little bit. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Oh, it's a good day whenever we have a guest, especially a guest that some might say is better looking than you. I don't know.
Best looking man in daytime coming
Best
up here.
looking man in daytime. Best.
Definitely top 3.
Yeah.
Maybe top 2, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm sure look. I want to get into that.
And I'm sure he hates this, by the way.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
But we could touch on the looks. Obviously, he's a great looking guy, but he's a great guy too.
That's right.
And I got to work with him a little bit, and it was awesome. We've known each other for a long time. You've known him, but he's an awesome dude. So
yeah. So
can't wait to talk to him.
You know him as Shawn from Days or Owen from B&B. Brandon Beemer. Hey, bud.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
There he is. What's up, Brandon?
Hey,
how are you, buddy?
What's up? I'm good, man. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. I almost wore my tank top and I didn't.
I mean, I know.
Thank God.
It's Southern California. It's hot out here,
It does. What have you been doing this summer, man? You've been hitting the beach, hitting the pool. What's been happening?
I just got back from went to Saint-Tropez I was in Saint-Tropez and then went to Monte Carlo. So did all that in like about 2 weeks. So
wow,
that was fun. I think I'm still recovering a little bit from it.
I feel bad. I don't know the first one. I know Monaco.
Saint-Tropez?
Yeah, what's
Saint-Tropez? Oh, Saint-Tropez, France.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's the south of France. It's really beautiful. Yeah. You got to go, Bradford.
Okay.
It was the suntan oil was named after it, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Saint-Tropez.
You know what it is? Now that I'm thinking of the actual spelling of it, yes. But I don't speak French very well, so anyway, all right.
But
can I bring my kids?
Yeah, you can bring your kids. I mean, if you want to.
Sure. You just wanted vacation? Is that where you went?
Yeah, just on vacation. I had some friends out there and they were like, "Hey, come on out. Let's go. We're all going to be here." So
I've always really been jealous of your traveling.
Yeah, let me ask you this. I was going to ask him that, how it led into it. Was it because of B&B that you started traveling Europe more? Is that why?
What's funny is I think that's probably what it is, because once they kind of broke the seal and I got a passport and then I went and got, global entry and TSA pre-check, I mean, then it was just like off to the races. And I also just had a lot of more free time on my hands right after B&B. And so it just became one of those little things where I was like, wow, this is what the world has to offer. There's so many other great things to see than just hanging out in the United States. I mean, I love the United States, but I mean, when you look at the pictures, especially with social media now, I mean, because back in the day, we didn't really have that social media. So now it's like everybody's just posting all of their Europe trips and all these beautiful destinations. And I was just and I look at it and I go, I need to go there. I got to go there. I got to see that place. I got to see that. I got to eat that food. I got to get that pasta. I got to get that pizza. You name it. I got to go do it.
It's amazing.
I got to eat that carb. Eat that carb.
Well, you don't. Oh, the carbs don't do anything to you over there because it's different. Because I don't know. It's just healthier.
It's all clean food. It's all clean food, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, you lose weight there for 2 weeks eating anything and everything that you want.
Isn't that crazy?
You should have a travel show. Eat that carb.
100%, Brandon. You should have a travel show, dude.
Yeah. I'll come here. I'll eat the exact same thing here in the United States for like a month and see what happens. And I'll go there and I'll eat that for a month and then it just falls away.
Right. Yeah. It's like you and Morgan Spurlock.
Hey, dude, even the McDonald's over there is healthier.
Dude, it's the truth. I mean, the McDonald's.
I know it is.
Look at the ingredients in their fries. I was just reading about it. Like in Germany is one of their biggest markets, I guess. I think it's McDonald's. And I think it was so the UK is what it was that said that they have just like a few ingredients in the fries, like 7, and then if you come here to the United States, there's like 16.
Well, they just have different rules, right? For what is allowed.
They have better rules for protecting your health. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, and after you eat, you can get some stuff here if you just get the imported stuff. If you want to eat pasta and you don't want to get fat, eat the stuff that literally is made from the Italian ingredients and not just it's the Italian,
brand
recipe. Yeah, sure. It's not the Italian recipe, but it's the stuff that's made from the actual waters in Italy. And you can get a lot of that stuff at, what is it? What's the Italian store? It's over at Century City, Italy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You can get a lot of imported stuff there.
Well,
go ahead, Brad.
Well, I mean, you're like, I've noticed this for years. Like you travel really well, number one. And in terms of like how you do it. And then like all of a sudden you're in Dubai, you're in like and from what you said earlier about like once you realize, okay, well, I have all the things I need to go these places. I want to go to these places, and I love that. Most people are like, oh, I got to plan this out. But see, you just go. I love it.
I know it's hard to say. Is there a favorite place? Is it? I know it's tough
because
there's
it's so
many.
Tough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to say like beach destinations, Maldives. Oh my God, the Maldives were just beautiful. Well, it's also the hotel, the one and only. It's called the One and Only. It's an entire island in the Maldives. The whole entire island is the resort. The whole island.
Wow.
And the water is amazing. The water bungalow is amazing. I mean, and then there's just different places in Italy that you can go to. I mean, like there's just so many. I don't know.
Yeah. See, so here's Brandon. Don't die, okay? Because I've never been to Europe.
He's just got to throw his desk up in the air.
Yeah.
Oh I know. My God.
I know. So this has been calling me for a long time to go to Europe. You know,
let's go. Let's hop on a plane. Let's go.
In Italy is definitely the one. Italy always, is always interested me, and then Ireland has for some reason, and then Scandinavian countries for some reason too. So I don't know, man. I'm just excited about it because I see these things on Instagram too. Like I saw one the other day about Croatia, and I'm like, that's what Croatia looks like.
Oh man, I've been there too. It's amazing.
Like
man.
Their coast is
very
beautiful.
Envious.
They take all the bachelor and bachelorettes go there. Like what is
oh my God,
like Dubrovnik? What's that place? Is that
Dubrovnik? Yeah. That's where they filmed all like a lot of the Game of Thrones stuff. A lot of it's there.
Wow.
I went there like 5 years ago, and it's just you don't get enough time there to explore. I mean, I was in Dubrovnik for 3 nights, I think, and then went to Hvar, I think, and Split. Rented a boat and checked out some islands and stuff. But yeah,
honestly, dude, you should like start pitching a travel show with you. Like you would be the ultimate travel host. Like seriously. No, I'm dead serious. This is like a passion for you and you love doing it. And I can tell. And I'm like, this guy should have a travel show. Like you got to figure it out, but man, you should be doing that. Cause that is just right up your alley.
I mean, considering I spend the money to go do these things, anyway, just,
also
bring a little bit
or you start documenting everything and putting it on YouTube, Brandon. I mean, honestly, dude, like this is an incredible life that you lead, man. This is amazing.
That actually gets me thinking, like, when did have you always had this itch? Like, I know you're from Oregon. We can start there. You're from Oregon, right?
Yeah. Eugene, Oregon.
Right. So how young were you when you were like, what was life like for you in Oregon? Like, at what point were you thinking, I got to get out, I got to do this?
Well, in middle school, I talked about like the word get out, and it just meant like, I just wanted to do something that I wanted to see the different parts of the United States. That's where it started. I mean, my grandma took us to Puerto Vallarta, which, was very sweet of her. She used to take us to Puerto Vallarta for like, a week because she had a place in Puerto Vallarta. But other than that, I never traveled. We went camping. You guys, I mean, in the United States, there's a lot of people, we go camping. We drive the motorhome, or we drive the truck, and we put all the, we bring the boat, and then we bring the tents, and we all sleep in tents, and we do campfires and, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, so it's one of those things. So I just knew that I wanted to go and see other things. I wanted to see New York City. That's why when I was 18, I graduated high school, and I had an opportunity to go to New York. And I said, Dad, I just graduated high school. I said, I'm going to New York for a month. And he goes, what, God, you're going to New York for a month? Where is New York?
Bring a tent. Bring a tent.
New York City.
Do you need a tent, by the way? Do you need to borrow your tent? But so then I went to New York, and I was there, and I don't know what it was like in the first like week, 2 weeks, just the energy of the city and the possibilities and the just exploring all this cool stuff just started to click, and I was going, whoa. And then I hit a month, and I was coming up on the month, and I was like, I'm not leaving. Right. And then that 1 month to see New York turned into 23 years. So I haven't been back. I mean, I've never moved back. So
sure. Right. What was the opportunity?
You were there for 23 years in New York?
Well 23 years away from Oregon.
Yeah. I never moved back to Oregon.
Yeah.
It was the modeling career, modeling.
How did that find you in Oregon?
Hey, don't brush that aside.
I know.
Don't brush that aside.
Maybe now that I'm older, it's like it looks a little bit better. But when I was younger, I was like,
I know it opens doors though.
Yeah, it was like it opened doors. So I went I did this thing called model search. One of these model, I don't even want to, it's one of these model search thingies or whatever they are.
Sure.
And it was in Eugene, and they were doing all the West Coast. And I kept getting these people that would come up to me. They would say, "Hey, are you going to go to this model search thing at the Hilton downtown?" And I said, "No, I'm not going to go to that. I'm not a model." And they're like, "No, you should really go." And it just kept happening. And people kept saying, "Dude, are you going to go to this? I mean, you should go to this. I don't know why you're not going to this. It's all over the radio." So finally I said, "No, all right, I'm going to go."
Over the radio.
And then I went. And yeah, I was working for Coca-Cola. I was doing merchandising, driving around in my Coca-Cola van, going from store to store to store after high school.
Lifting up big things of soda, like
just little 2 liters of soda, It's like, here you go.
Yeah.
But it was merchandising. So I was doing all the pull up from the back and the restock and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was lifting 6 packs and 12 packs. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Working out. I like it.
Yeah. And
lifting
so then
better than drinking them.
That's
yeah.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And so then I went to the thing, and I don't know what happened. Everything just sort of fell in line. It's like, I got a call back or whatever to go to the finals in Washington, in Seattle. And I wasn't sure if I was going to go because none of my friends were going. And I was at this house party right after that night, and there was a girl there. And she goes, "Hey, didn't I see you at the model search thingy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was there." She's like, "Oh, did you get picked?" And I said, "Yeah, I got picked." And she goes, "Are you going to go?" And I go, "I don't know if I'm going to go. I mean, it's all the way up to Seattle, and I don't have anybody to go. I don't know. I don't really want to go. I wasn't one to venture off to go to some big city by myself and get a hotel and do all this stuff by myself." And she goes, "Well, I'm going to drive, and I don't have anybody else to go with." She's like, "If you just come with me," she's like, "we can share a hotel room." She's like, "You don't have to pay for gas because I'm driving."
Calm down, Bradford. Calm down.
I was like, "This is amazing."
and then that's how that happened. And so, and what's the terrible thing?
And the kid is 23 years old now, or so.
No. Oh God, no. No. She was really sweet, and and I ended up getting all these callbacks and these opportunities to go to different places in the United States, like Los Angeles and Miami, New York, and I chose New York because they put me in a model's apartment. I had to sleep in a model's apartment with 9 people, in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment that was converted into a curtain that was in the dining room with some more bunk beds. So there's 9 people.
What's amazing, this is a sweatshop over here.
Well, it's funny. There's a decent amount of people that this has been their trajectory towards daytime, right? And Galen has similar stories, living in modeling apartment,
Miami,
and I know Steve, you did some modeling. I strangely did not, but it's fascinating I love this. So how did that shape the rest of it? What was it?
It was honestly, it was like, it was embarrassing, and to be. Came got to the point where it was just, you're young, you don't know what's going on, and you're just like out there, and people are like, "Hey, try these little Speedos on," and I'm going, "Do I really? I don't really want to wear Speedos. Can I wear some clothes? Oh, we'll wear those too. We'll wear those later, but you need body shots or something like that." And you're just and it's like, and you're going, "I don't want to wear this. It's degrading." And it's like, and and very few people actually treat you with with a lot of respect. You're just a product, and
you're a piece of meat for sure.
Yeah, and you're a piece of meat without a voice, and you can't you walk into a casting and you hand them your book, and they just look at it and they just look at you, and then they just hand it back, and you're like, "But I can do this," and they just look at it, they go, "No. Thank you for coming in." But with acting, I mean, in my opinion, it's like, what sort of, I just couldn't really find any sort of real skills that I really wanted, that I felt passionate about improving to become a model. Sure. But as an actor, so then I was all beat down after 6 months, 8 months, and I was like, "This just sucks. I'm gonna go back to." I got my own apartment. I was living in my own apartment right there in the city, and tiny little studio. It's a bedroom. It's the size of my bedroom right here.
Right, of course.
And then somebody said, they go, "Dude," I said, "I'm gonna go back to Oregon." I said, "This is just, I don't know. I don't really want to. It's just not me. This is not cool." And they said, "Why don't you take an acting class?" And I'm like, "What do you mean an acting class?" I take an acting class. You got a personality. You always feel like, if you don't feel that you have enough control over your career, then take an acting class, get better at a skill and learn something. And I went, "Oh, all right, I'll try it. Do you have any recommendations?" They gave me a recommendation. I signed up for a 3-month course. Boom, took the 3-month course, and I said, "This is awesome. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm sticking to it." I was like, "This is cool. What do I get? Do I get paid to do this?" I mean, of course, you don't think about
Not yet.
how difficult it's going to be.
Right.
Sure, nobody does, or they wouldn't get in it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I really get paid to do this, and then all of a sudden you're just like, and then I packed up my bags after that. I broke my lease and moved to Los Angeles.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's where it all started. And
so how old were you then?
Oh yeah.
How old were you then?
I was 19.
Wow, 19. Good for you, man. That's a beast.
Being in LA, being in New York, doing an acting class there, what made you think you had to go to LA? Just because you wanted to do film and
because I wanted to do film and television, yeah. And all of the stuff that they were giving us in the acting class, the scenes, they were all from like film and television and stuff. And everybody said, they were like, dude. And I also didn't like, I mean, I love New York now.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I like the sunshine. I mean, I moved from, I didn't know that I was partially depressed I was depressed for like 9 months out of the year until I moved out of Eugene, Oregon.
Right.
Like, once you get past that 3 months of sun, and there's more sun.
Yeah.
And then when you're in Los Angeles, and then there's more sun, and you're going, the possibilities. So I can go to the beach. I get to go to the beach in March if I want to, or wear a sweatshirt, but it's not going to be raining and gloomy and crappy. And and so then that's what I realized, that the sun keeps me optimistic as possible. I love the sun. I love looking outside and seeing the green trees and people walking around and being healthy and out and about doing things, instead of looking out and you just see the gloom and you go, I'll stay right here in bed and with my dog and watch TV.
Yeah, no, I get you. So what was you got to LA, and how did things go for you in LA right away?
I mean, I hopped into acting class and I realized that I was not a good actor. And so, people were like, hey man, do you want to audition? And I said, no. I got to learn how to do this a little bit. I got to become comfortable in my own skin. But I got agents right away and all that. And of course, things they never go the way that you actually really want them. I mean, we all aim for, we all have different goals in sight, and we get to play with those goals a little bit. We get to just get close enough to to touch them. And, and then at the end of the day, what you want to do is you just want to become a working actor. And then you then I fell in love with daytime because it's just this family and everybody sticks together, and you run into people and you become friends with people, where it's like Steve, I never even worked with him before, days. And, he's awesome. Bradford, same with you. Never worked with you. And right. But we all know each other because it's our little community, and the community is so much fun. It's great. I mean, would I love to go do a primetime show? Yeah. Would I like to go do a movie? Yeah, hell yeah. But I'll always appreciate and have so much respect for the daytime genre and the people in it. And it's just, it's people say, they're like, dude, why don't you get out of daytime? I'm like, easier said than done, because of two things. I really like the camaraderie. I like the community that we all have. Yeah. And also it's like, you got to free yourself up to be able to get out of it. You got to be like free for more than just 6 months or a year.
Yeah,
or 2
no,
years.
that's always the golden
keep
hand
going.
Well, yeah, that was always you hear me okay?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
You had Steve, you had a couple, choice moments where and you chose to go back.
Yeah, but Brandon's hit it on the head, because everybody thinks you can do both and you cannot.
Oh.
If you want to go off and do something else, you have to leave the show.
Unless you're extremely, it's sometimes like Shamar Moore. It's like you can come back and dabble if you want to. But that was because CBS was a proponent of using their stars in primetime. ABC, true, yeah.
Disney never was.
Yeah.
So for me, the only time I ever worked was when I left.
Yeah.
Right. And then it was fun. I mean, I did some great projects, but I liked, and I still like what we do.
Yeah.
I like to go in.
Something about just get in and work and play make believe, and then you get out.
Yeah, and you're done.
Isn't it funny, like when you get a job on a primetime show or something that takes 8 hours to shoot 4 pages? Yeah. It is a mind. You're just like this.
I know.
I did it. I've done it 30 times now, and it's like I did this show. I got the pleasure to do this show. What is it? Lone Star 911, and it was like a 4-page scene with Rob Lowe, and I walked in. I had all that memorized, ready to rock. I was just like, I was doing it like I was just killing it for half of the day, all of the stuff, and then all of a sudden, my brain started forgetting words, and I started it went into this like fried mode. It's like the fried mode when we memorize 60 pages of dialogue and we're just like, I can't do it anymore. There's just pieces that start to fall. And the pieces were falling out of my head, and it was on Rob's close-ups and all of his coverage, because he gets his coverage at the end of the day. And I couldn't remember certain words. So I was just, I was slurring. I was like, words that wouldn't come out. And it was embarrassing, but I realized it was because he walks in, he didn't even know the dialogue. He was reading it like it's the first time he's ever seen it. And I'm just like standing here at the read, and I'm like, and he's like, what's that line right there? Oh, it's this. And I'm going, oh wow, I'm good. I'm flexing. I'm like, yeah, I got all this stuff down. And then towards the end of the day, I just fell apart. I mean, not bad. It was just 2 lines, but 2 lines. I just started losing the connection to it. And so now it's kind of one of those things where it's like, you know, when you walk into Days or, you know, the soap opera, there's something that the challenge, like Steve, he gets like pumped up, ready to rock. He's like, okay, this is going to be one time. We're going to murder this one time. And he gets pumped up and he does it. And it's like, he doesn't just go, all right, let's just see how this one goes. And then maybe we'll do 2, maybe we'll do 3. He's like, I'm going for perfection or whatever. I'm going to surprise myself in this one next take. In the next 2 minutes of my life, I'm going to kick ass, you know, and that's great. And it's like, you know, that's the other like aspect of the fun that you get to have in daytime.
But I think you make a great point again, Brandon, is that we've done it for so long. That's our programming.
Yeah.
Right. When we get outside, the programming changed. When I went to do a feature, and I won't take a long time on this, I had the whole script memorized when I landed on set.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're trained to do.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, there were big name actors that literally were burning film at the time, to get their lines out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in the scene. I'm like, is this real? Like, that guy took 8 takes to get his line right.
Yeah. Just to get one.
What is going on here?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just a different programming, and that's what they're used to. We're used to something different, but that's why people have such respect for soap actors. When they go out and work with them, they're like, oh, wow, you guys can handle any freaking thing.
Yeah.
And that is the truth, because you bring those fish into our pond, it's not the same for them.
Yeah.
We can go out we could go swim in the ocean with them. They're not coming in and being like, oh, this is easy. 40 pages tomorrow. They would have a heart attack. Dead. They would be dead.
And some people, when they do come in and they just kill it, and you're going, whoa. And you know that they've heard stories like what we're talking about now. And they're like, oh my God.
I'm not going to be that guy.
Right. Oh my God, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to do that.
Or they did
line.
Yeah, or they did theater. Right,
line.
Yeah.
But but when you go back and you're talking about, like Steve, like we were saying about, like, you know, the amount of time that it takes to shoot that, the editing, it just makes them look so good.
So good.
Oh, when they can't, it takes them 10 takes to get one line out.
So good.
But then when you watch it and it's just seamless, it's so engraved in their bodies and their bones, and it's like, and you're watching it, and you're going, oh wow, that is good. And then literally, you know, Steve's over here going, dude, you should have seen it. I mean, that piece is part of the one where he said, I can't remember this. And then that little chunk there is part of, I know, what's that line again?
It's
and then
so
they just
funny.
Splice it all together.
Right.
Yeah.
But they just
let's
casual
be real.
And cool.
Let's be real. We've been saved by editing too.
Oh, for sure. Editing is for sure. Yeah.
All right. So when did you get B&B, Brandon?
Right after Days, like literally, I think it was such a seamless transition. I was on Days, obviously, and then worked a lot, and then it was like in my contract, it wasn't
for how many years were you on Days first?
So I think I did a 3-year contract, and I did 2 of the years, and they just said, you've been working so much, we got to take you off contract, we're going to bring you back. You know how it is. That's how they always do. And then all of a sudden, Bold and the Beautiful calls, and they're like, hey, you want to take a meeting with casting and the producers? And I said, what do you mean? I was like, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. That was a lot of work for the last 2 years, especially, you know, getting like just shotgunned out with 15 episodes in my first 2 weeks of work, finding out that Claire is my baby and all this stuff. And then they were like, just take a meeting. Brad wants to take a meeting. Brad Bell wants to take a meeting with you and the producers and casting. I said, sure. And they went in and they explained how they're a 30-minute show, and their work times, and they don't go beyond this, and the travel and the publicity, all the fun stuff. And I was like, that sounds like an adventure to me.
Yeah.
And then that's where that, and then that just, I mean, it was so great. I mean, Brad brought me in and he sat down and he was like, okay, let's come up with, so they wanted me to screen test for a character that I would never have gotten, but they just said, we want to see what you can do on this screen. I mean, I was going to be playing, it was the role of Marcus, and I would be playing Jennifer Garris's son. Makes no sense. So, but that was the role. And they said, just, Kay Alden's in town, come and just, our other head writer, and come and just do a screen test and just get our juices flowing, our creative juices flowing. And I was like, okay. So I did the screen test, and then, somebody else got that role, and then they brought me in. They said, we're going to write a role for you. And I was like, oh, really? And they're like, yeah. They're like, and Brad wants to meet with you, wants to discuss your character name. And he's like, come on. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking about the character's name? I want it to be strong. And he goes, what I'm thinking is, let me know what you think. He goes, just tell me what you think. I'm thinking Owen Hart. And I'm like, Owen Hart is a wrestler that died in the ring. He fell from the rafters and died in the ring. And he was like, what? And I go, yeah, he was a wrestler that died in the ring. I don't know if you want Owen Hart. And he's like, oh God, oh wow, I didn't know that. I mean, we need to check this. I need to check into this. And then he's like, okay, so if we can't do that, if we decide not to do that, let's come up with something else. And he's like, something good, like, and then we came up with Owen Knight. And so, cool. It was great. It was such a great, Bolden Beemer was such a great and cool environment. It was just, Brad's door was open every single day.
Yeah, he seems like, very collaborative. He seems very collaborative with his actors.
He is very, totally. He's like, he'll, hey, if you're in my area, hit me up and, we'll grab coffee, that kind of stuff. He's always just very warm and welcoming, and very involved with his actors. And so that was a lot of fun. And so I got to do, I don't know, it was like over 4 years there.
Yeah.
But the traveling, that's where it all kicked in. I think now that you think about it, I can't remember which one you guys said it. It's like, did Bold and the Beautiful introduce me to that, because that was the first time I left the country, was with Bold and the Beautiful. I had to get a passport to do their publicity stuff in South Africa. We did it all over South Africa. We did it all over Italy. And
I knew Italy was a big deal for B&B. I didn't realize South Africa was too.
South Africa, dude. I was airing on Days of Our Lives and Bold and the Beautiful. I was in Durban, South Africa, and I'm sitting there in my hotel, and I'm clicking through, and I went, what the hell? It was me on Days of Our Lives like 3 years ago, because of the time that they released it.
So amazing.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm on Bold and the Beautiful the exact same day. So I was airing on 2 shows at the exact same time, and the turnout in South Africa was amazing. They were so warm and they were so friendly. We did we went up to, I can't remember which mall we went to. We were supposed to sign autographs when we go to South Africa. You can look it up on YouTube. I forgot which mall, but they said that there were like 10,000 people showed up. Sure. The whole entire mall was every level high as you're looking out and as far as you can see. And I would have loved to go down there and met everybody and signed autographs and all that, but there were just too many people.
And this is in the last 10 years, even.
2010, I think, is when I was there. I can't remember.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, 13 years.
That's still pretty fresh.
Yeah.
That's
somewhere around there. Yeah. So
was it like, obviously you have a little more time off when you're doing a half-hour show, but you're saying most of the traveling was done in the name of Bold and the Beautiful. It wasn't just because you had time off.
No, well, it started with Bold and the Beautiful, and that's when I went, oh, this is easy. Oh wow, I want to go back, and it was just one of those things where that's where it just kind of started. And then right when I think it was like right when I got off not right when I got off the show, but I think it's when I became single. That's when everything, I was like, oh, this is easy. I was like, I got nothing else to do. So right when I became single, I was like, all right, I got my passport. I'm ready to rock. Let's go. I'm out. And so that's where it started, like back in 2014. So I went to Dubai the first time in 2013, and that was a huge deal to go to the Middle East. And, I was just like, well, okay, I'm going to the Middle East. This is going to be interesting. And went there and just realized it was beautiful. Everybody was warm and welcoming, and it's just the culture is beautiful, and it was fun. But it is still Dubai. I mean, I haven't been to anywhere in the Middle East except for Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So
right.
It's awesome, man.
And
so cool, dude.
Coming back to Days, now that's, I mean, like, did you ever imagine you'd come back?
I mean, I always feel like Days is always like it's where I started when I was like 26, and so it was one of those things. Your character is
pretty like, he's a Brady, right?
Yeah, Shawn Brady, Shawn Douglas Brady. I mean, I've always felt like Days is like one of those places because I didn't. So it's like, so when you're doing a show like Days and you're related to almost everybody on the show, I mean, at the time, you know, now it's changed a little bit, but I was related to almost everybody, and you have a relation to everybody, and so you start thinking about possibilities from a romantic, you know, like, you know, hiccups and stuff. Where you're like, well, okay, we gotta. Who's gonna try to? Who am I gonna cheat on Belle with, or who's Belle's gonna cheat on me, and I'm gonna go do this, and you can't really come up with anybody. So then I went to
they got to bring new people on, dude.
They brought on a hooker for me. Literally, her name was Willow. She was a hooker. She was a former hooker. And they brought her on, and she found me playing basketball out there. I was shirtless, and then next thing you know, she moved into my apartment. And then she tried to burn my apartment down, and my dad told me to get away from her. And I said, "You don't know anything, Dad." So then,
your dad's like, "Yes, I do. I know hookers, son. Get away from them right now." I don't know why I'm a Southern now. Salem, Kentucky. Salem,
Kentucky. That's funny. And so then you go to Bold and the Beautiful, and you think, oh my God, this is going to be so much fun because I'm not related to anybody. So the romantic possibilities are endless. But then when you get there, you start to realize the one thing that's missing is the familial aspect, like having that family that you're attached to, that you have your mom and your dad and your sister. You know, Christian Alfonso is like such a maternal and motherly woman. And she, you know, when she sees me and she doesn't see me for a week, she's like, honey, dressing room, we need to talk. She's like, what's going on with your life? Who are you dating? How's your dog? How's this? Where you been traveling to? You know, all that kind of stuff. Something that like a mom would do. And Peter's very like, you know, like a manly dad too. And he's always looked out for me. And so it was really fun to have like, everybody can relate to having a father and a mother and a grandpa and a sister and, you know, brother or family. And so it's just a thing. It's like when you go there and you go back there and you get to explore these relationships with these characters, it just it holds a special place in your heart. I guess is what it.
That's awesome, man.
And you guys have been doing some fun work. I'm not sure what has aired and what hasn't. What you guys can talk about? Is there anything you can talk about?
There's good stuff coming.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's
that must be so hard. Like trying to. I mean, is the publicity office letting you guys know? Like, or do you have to like? No.
Publicity office.
What?
We don't have a publicity office.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
I mean, I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, it's crazy that the show doesn't have a publicity office.
Well, it's through Peacock now.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I imagine at some point they're saying, hey, take this interview to talk about this storyline. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how you guys like
it's
up
tough
to date with what's airing, unless you watch, I guess. But
I always have to go, hey, it was 6 months ago. Like, I don't even know what about the scene with when you and Hope? I say, I have no idea. You should just check with the publicist because I don't know what we did.
Yeah.
You know, it's really difficult to be that far in advance and promote something coming up.
With all the years that you've been in daytime and all that, I mean, what's the furthest you've gone out? Like both of you guys, like furthest you guys have gone out, like shooting wise. 5 weeks.
I think there was a time on GH that we could have been 8 to 10 weeks ahead max.
So what about 7 months?
No,
Isn't that like
no.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Well,
well, I mean, I guess it's like, you know, shooting a movie and then it comes out a year later. And
yeah, but the problem is, Brad, with the movie, and this is the only problem that I would see from a creative standpoint.
Yeah.
If something's not working, you can't abandon it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't shift gears halfway through. Go, hey, this isn't really hitting how we thought it might hit in whatever the story. And then
because 7 months have gone by.
Because 7 months.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have to follow through. So if a couple's not working or whatever it is, they can't make a left turn.
That's tough.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
unless they see it in the moment, unless they're watching it on you know, in the edit.
That's I mean, I don't know. But that's the only problem that I see is you can't really make a left turn if you need to.
Yeah.
So
when you have like that when you have those episodes that are coming out like once a day and all that kind of stuff, it's like you know, and some people watch it once a day, and sometimes there's a gap in stories where you kind of lose the excitement for it when you're watching, and you're like, okay, I haven't seen this storyline in a week. Right. But you know, but the writing, it's probably different in their brains because they see it like the way that they see it.
Yeah, for sure.
Then when an actor, I mean, when a viewer has to watch it and they're watching it 1 hour, you know, 1 hour, and they're just going, wait, I'm not invested in this storyline anymore because I haven't seen it for like a week and a half or something.
Well, now they binge watch.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's a lot of time.
you could let those pile up and go 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row, which is kind of crazy.
Some people, yeah. Some people, I mean, they watch it every day. Some of these viewers are so good, and they're just like every day they're, awesome. It just boom. You see the stuff that they post of like your character and stuff like that. And you're going, oh, I'm on today. Maybe I'll watch it.
Totally.
Well, and if you have a certain subscription on Peacock, you can watch it without ads, right? So that makes it 40 something minutes. Yeah. So it's easier to binge if you have that, right? Versus
sure.
And what's weird is on Peacock they can change. Some of the episodes are way longer than others. It's weird. It's like they'll have really long episodes and shorter episodes, and
interesting.
It's they don't have to go for the exact 1 hour time slot.
Correct.
Oh right. Yeah. Oh right, because it's not a slot.
Yeah, it's not a slot. It could be 47 minutes. It could be 42 minutes. Who knows?
It could be 36 minutes if they want, probably, and just be like, yeah,
for sure.
And then just put the and then
Well,
that's awesome.
However long it is, I'm sure people are excited for whatever's coming up for you guys, and it's so
we got
cool
good stuff coming up.
It's so cool to hang out, man. It's so good to see you. It's been
man, good to see you.
When I first came in, like GH was kind of in a corner. We didn't have any other ABC shows in LA, and then I met you and some people from other shows in LA through some events and stuff, and you were always such a good friend, and I didn't, community-wise, I didn't know how I fit in, if I fit into daytime, and it didn't matter. And I love reconnecting.
You fit in perfectly well. You're a good guy, and if that's not enough for anybody, then they can piss off. You're a great guy.
Yeah, piss off. Yeah. Yeah.
And you like wine, and you like your wine, just like
I know. You, hey man.
Oh boy,
you got me drinking some good wine.
Yeah.
Yes, I still appreciate that. My goodness.
Some of that Napa Valley Reserve.
Oh, there you go,
dude. Oh, dude. All right. Well, Brandon Beemer, everybody. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Brandon.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our tour dates at stonecoldandthejackal.com.